What's going on, guys? Treasure up here in the garage with the R6. For today's video, I'm going to do an entire video on how to remove the entire headlight assembly. Yep, you heard it right. Let's go. Let's get at it. There's a lot of work to do. Step number one, guys, is going to be to remove the windshield. Yes, we need to remove the windshield. Now, I'm not going to show you guys how to remove the windshield in this video. I'm going to go ahead and remove it and then come back to you guys. If you don't know how to do it or anything like that, I'll put the video link in the description down below. Let's go. Let's take off the windshield. Okay, windshield is gone. It's up on top right there. Step number two, we're going to go ahead and remove the front cowling. Once again, I'm not going to show you guys how to do it in this video. I am going to refer you to a video I did previously showing you how to take this off and put it back on again. So once again, the video link is down in the description below. I'm going to go ahead and remove this and then come back. Okay, front cowling is now gone. We're gonna move on to step number three, going to be to remove the two side fairings. Yes, unfortunately, we do need to remove the fairings. Once again, if you haven't seen the video before or haven't done it before, I have a video on this as well. Video description will be down below for how to remove the left and right fairing. Let's go ahead and do that and come back to the next step.
A few moments later.
We're getting closer. We've got the left and right side fairing off. Now we're gonna move on to step number four. Step number four is going to be fairly simple. It's going to be one silver bolt from each side, there and there. We're going to go ahead and remove those two. Now what that's going to do, it's going to remove this entire piece right here. As you see this piece, and it's going to come right off. Now, I personally have my signals connected to the DRL bracket here with this bolt. So I'm actually just going to take off my signals as well from the left and right hand side. That's just an extra step for me. If you do have the same signals as I do, you'll need to remove those and put the signals down. All right, we're going to grab our size 4 Allen bolt. In my case, it's my little T-wrench. You can take that guy out, put that aside. Now remember, when you're taking the hardware out, to obviously be putting them away and storing them properly. And once you do that, you're just gonna actually remove it. This actually will come off just like so. So this piece will come off left side and right side. We need to get both sides off. Now that we've gotten this far, I mean, that looks like a transformer, doesn't it? Now that we've gotten this far, now our next step, which would be step number 5, we're actually going to start unhooking some connections. The next couple of steps are all going to be unhooking a certain clip from either the front end or the side or anything like that. So pay attention as I go along here. Step number 5. So we're going to have two connections here. One connection here, which is connected to this guy, the holder on this side of the bracket. And then we got this connection here, right there, which is going to be this guy here. We're going to go ahead and start with this one for step number 5. We're going to undo this backings to pull the actual pin out, and then we're going to undo that connection. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm going to grab my needles pliers here. I'm actually just going to do it just behind the camera. Hopefully you guys can see everything. Get those wings in and then pull it right out. So there you go. That's the coupler right there. It's a fairly simple connection, obviously. Okay, so you're going to push down on the pin with your thumb and then unhook that. So that is step number 5. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move the one that we just unclipped. I'm going to move this to the side right here just so it's out of the way for now. Now step number 6, we're going to go ahead and remove this connector here. I'll zoom out a bit. You go in and it's the blue connection right over here. Again, this area right here, you push down with your thumb and it comes out this way. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect the atmospheric pressure sensor. Let's go ahead and remove that. So that is step number 6. We're going to go ahead and leave that where it is as well. Step number 7. Now right under the meter coupler, this is the intake air temperature sensor. We're going to go ahead and unclip that as well. Going to reach in. Let's see if I can do it with my left hand here. There we go. So you're going to reach in again with the index finger, push down and then just pull upwards. Only pull upwards, don't pull towards you or anything like that. Pull upwards and then that guy is out as well. So that was step number 7. Now step number 8, still on the front end. Step number 8, another coupler. We're going to go ahead and pull back the meter assembly coupler like so to expose the connections. There's the connection. All you got to do is push down with your thumb or index finger and then pull that out, and that is the meter coupler right there, and that can just get out of the way as well. Step number 9, we're going to go ahead and remove the headlight couplers, which is these two right here. There's a band going across holding this piece right here that it connects to the way it is. It's fairly simple to just unplug this. So you're going to push down on the middle part right here and right there, and you're going to go ahead and pull these outwards. Don't need to do anything else, just push down and pull out just like that. So there's 1 and 2. There we go. So now the two headlight couplers are out and disconnected as well. Okay, so that is all that we need to do or unclip when it comes to couplers. We're gonna move on to step number 10. I believe this is step number 10. Honestly, there's so many steps anyways. Just follow along, obviously. But the next step at this point, we're gonna go ahead and come over here to the left side of the bike. You're gonna see this connection right here with all the wires. It's not a connection, it's just a holder, a wire holder. We're gonna go ahead and pull that back a little bit. We're gonna just pull all those wires out of that holder just to give a little bit more space. Step number 11, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and remove 2 push pins from the bottom. There's gonna be one in the back, right over here. That's one. So we're gonna go ahead and push that up. And then we're gonna go ahead and grab this guy right here. Push that one up. All right, that was step number 11. All right, step number 12. I'm gonna go ahead and come over to this side of the bike right here. Now you're gonna see 4 bolts. We're gonna look for 4 bolts. There's one, there's number 2. That's on the left side of the bike. And we're gonna move over to the other side. And so there's 3 and 4. We're gonna go ahead and remove those 4 bolts. Once we remove those 4 bolts, the headlight assembly will be free and we can pull it off the bike. Now we've got just that one left right there. We're gonna do that one nice and slowly, and then we're gonna go ahead and hold the front up a tiny bit so the assembly doesn't actually fall forward. They are on these rubber grommets. It's not necessarily going to fall. You'll have to just watch it and just be careful with it. There are pins that are in the actual grommets themselves, so it's not necessarily going to fall, but I'm just being safe than anything. And I'm doing it with my left hand as I'm holding the front ram air portion with my right hand. All right, so I got that one as well. That one is out, as you can see. So now I've got all 4 bolts out. Okay, so we got that last bolt out. Now, on the right side, you'll also see this little bracket right here that holds wires. There's a wire right there. You're gonna actually take that wire and pull that out on this side as well, just like we did on the other side. So now it's free and it can be pulled forward. So let's go ahead and now pull the headlight assembly forward and off the bike. We're gonna go ahead and do this slowly. There we go. And at the same time, we can actually pull the ram air box off at the same time. So now we have the entire light assembly with the box off the actual unit. You can go ahead and pull this forward and there it is. That comes off. So there is the headlight control unit, which is right there. And yeah, that is the headlight assembly removed with the DRL lights still on the assembly. Okay, we've got the headlight assembly off. Now it's time to go ahead and put it back on the bike. Bike just looks weird at the front end. It just looks weird. It looks like a Street Fighter. I don't like Street Fighters, but yeah, it just looks like the Street Fighter version. That's kind of funny. So let's go ahead and grab the headlight assembly and throw it back on. So we're basically going to just reverse the order of what we did when we took it off. Here are the four little pins I'm talking about here. It's like a screw pin. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They go into, so those 4 pins from the assembly go into these holes right here. 1, 2, 3. Right there, and 4. It actually just holds up the assembly itself once you do push it in there. It gives you time to put the screws on, get the cable situated, and then yeah, put the screws on and continue on. So let's go ahead and start reinstalling everything for the headlight assembly. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and grab our ram air box here. As you can see, the front end, there's like a little clip right there, which will go into the front right over here. That's the only thing actually holding that on there. So we're gonna go ahead and get those wires out of the way and just place it right on top of it. All right, we're gonna go ahead now, put our hand underneath all the wires, and we're gonna now slowly line up these pins with those bushings, with those rubber bushings. Okay, and we can grab the wires that were with the headlight assembly and pull them through because we'll need them obviously to reconnect everything. So we can go ahead and pull them all the way to the top. And so there we go. And now we're ready to start reconnecting everything along with the bolts for the assembly. At this point, we just need to go around and just make sure that the wires are not being pinched by either the ram air box or by any other portions that we've just attached. That is where it needs to be. This wire is coming up to here, so that's good. It's not in the way. Nothing is being pinched in there. So that's good. We're gonna go ahead and check this side now. This side is a lot less wires. You only see the 2 wires coming from the daytime running lights, and then they come all the way up to the top right here. Now I know now you're looking at it and you're like, holy shit, look at all the wires everywhere. Now I get it. Don't worry. I'm gonna show you guys where all these go, and I'm going to show you guys what connects to what and how the routing goes. So now that we made sure that the wires are not being pinched by anything, we're going to go ahead and grab our 4 bolts. So we're going to go ahead and put them into the places where we took them out from, which are these guys right here. So it's this black bolt with the black washer. Like so, it looks like a screw, looks like a bolt. It could be either or. Anyways, the Phillips head or the star head. And we're gonna go ahead and put the 4. We're gonna do 2 on each side, and that way we can secure the headlight assembly, not have to worry about it falling forward. All right, now that I've got all 4 in there, it's pretty snug as is, even just hand tight. We're gonna go around and just tighten them. It doesn't need to be reamed on. It's on rubber grommets for it to bounce around. Get all 4. We'll move on to the next step. It's on, it's nice. We are gonna have a bit of a wiggle up and down. That's going to be like that until we finish off putting back on the side panels and the upper cowling. So don't get alarmed or anything like that. We're okay. All right, let's start and putting the wires back where they need to go. We're gonna move the harness out of the way for a second. We're gonna move the harness out of the way for a second. So this white connector is from the daytime running lights, and this is from your headlights. They're gonna come out right over here. The white one's gonna come up to the top. The small black one, you're gonna come, and it's gonna come right to the front right here, like so. Now what we're gonna make sure is we're gonna pull the blue harness forward, and as I did that, one of the wires actually fell in there on its own. I'm gonna take the other wire and just push it and make sure that that holder is there, and that now it has both wires on that holder right there. Once we do that, we can push the harness forward, and now the holder is holding all those wires there as it did before. All right, so there we go. Now we're gonna move over to the other side, which is the right side of the bike. We're gonna come into this part right here. We're just gonna ignore this light for now, because again, that's my aftermarket signals. Move that out of the way. We're gonna have 2 wires coming off the daytime running light. So here, these are the 2 wires coming off this guy right here. We're gonna go ahead and take these 2 and we're gonna push them through that little hole right here. And we're gonna pull both of them. Both of them are gonna come right through right over here. Now, as you can see, the holder is right there. We're gonna actually go ahead and grab those 2 wires, and we're gonna push the 2 wires into the holder, so the holder is holding those 2 wires. You can actually put them aside if you need to, just so they're out of the way. As we're doing other things, this guy can also come to the side. Again, just put it aside, just so we have more space to look at the other wires. All right, next step, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and make sure that the headlight connections, this one coming off the wire harness, the bigger one is coming off the wire harness, and the smaller one is, where's the smaller one? There's the smaller one. The smaller one is coming off the actual headlights themselves. That orientation right now, it looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and plug in the small one first, like so. We're gonna go ahead and put that down like that. Go ahead and push that in until you hear that click. There we go. Then we're gonna grab the bigger one, push that in. That click noise, there we go. So now you can see the orientation from those 2 wires right there coming out, and those 2 are done. Let's move on. We're going to ignore this guy. This guy is the signal light. As you can see, it comes all the way out to here to my aftermarket signals. The signal line will actually be hidden from there. It's gonna come and we're gonna actually place it over here last. This is gonna be the last wire that we actually put in there. We can just ignore that one. What we're going to do is we're gonna grab this guy right here. You can actually see it's pretty well situated. It actually comes back to where it needs to go. So this is the intake air temperature sensor. We're gonna go ahead and clip that back on. All the way. Give it a little tug just to make sure it's in there. There we go. And then we're gonna grab this guy right over here with the blue connector, and this is going to be the atmospheric pressure sensor. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in as well. So we're gonna go pull it back. There we go. And that is in its place too. So we're gonna go ahead and come to this side now. As you can see, all the wiring is still good. No kinks or anything like that. Still in the wire holder. That's plugged in, that's plugged in. And now we're good for the next step. Now, next we're gonna grab our big guy right here, our meter assembly, and we're gonna plug this guy into the meter assembly like so. There you go, that's in. Now we're gonna take the boot and we're gonna make sure the boot is on there nice and snug as well. Push that all the way up. And that's the meter coupler right there. We're gonna grab this guy. So this guy right here will get connected to there, and this guy right here will get connected to there. But before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and connect these 4 together, 2 into 2. Honestly, you cannot mess these up. You cannot mess these up because again, these 2 cannot go into each other, and these 2 cannot go into each other. The right side is the female, the left side is the male. We're gonna go ahead and connect these 2. There we go. As we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and patch it through. And now that is nice and secure where it needs to be. Then we're gonna grab this wire, bring it onto this side. This is the female, this is the male. Go ahead and connect these two. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and connect this guy at the bottom as well. There we go. See, we are now all connected on the front end, and the wires are nicely put away and where they need to be. If you do currently have the OEM signal lights, this can actually be pushed down. It'll actually come all the way down to here, and then it'll come around like so, and then continue on your signals on the mirrors from this side and that side. Okay, now that we've done all that, it's nice and snug. Again, we do have that little tiny bit of movement, but that will go away soon. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab these guys. These are the upper cowlings, or upper fairing cowling, I don't know what you want to call them, but regardless, we're gonna go ahead and put these guys right over here. You can actually just hook it on to there. That hooks on there, comes across to here, and then so we're gonna grab the silver bolt. We're gonna go ahead and get this guy on here, tighten that down, and this side is good. This side will still move around until you put the fairing back on. Let's go ahead and do the other side. All right, there we go. Let's move on to the next step. So at this point, we're actually gonna grab the 2 push pins, which we took out from the bottom right over here, one there. We're gonna go ahead and push those back in. We're gonna put these push pins back into where they came from. And there we go. So that is connected now. On to the next step. All right, guys, at this point, we are now ready to grab the upper cowling and put the upper cowling right back in its place. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and then continue on. So, I mean, I guess you could technically do the 2 fairings. You can technically still do the 2 fairings, then come over here, do the upper cowling, and then the windshield. But let me get everything else together. Let me get everything together, put everything together, and we'll be back once I do so. Now, remember, guys, if you guys don't know how to do this, I haven't done it previously, I do have those videos on how to do every single one of those down in the description below.
A few moments later.
All right, everything is back on. We've got the upper cowling on, we got the windshield on with it. I've also put the 2 fairings back on, so boom, boom, that's there. Everything is on, and on a positive note, there's no more bolts left over. No more bolts left over. So that's a good thing. So that's definitely a good thing. Everything is back on. We are ready to go. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and until the next one.